18 March 2026, 22:30 hours, Zulu. It was a great day today. I spent about 4 hours playing tennis, and it was around 80 degrees. And that means out on the tennis courts, it's even hotter because, of course, the heat is radiating off the surface of the tennis court. So it could be anywhere from 85 to 90 degrees on the tennis courts. Today, my tennis instructor and I worked on my footwork and my follow through on my forehand side. She had to make sure that my right leg didn't move ahead of myself on my follow through. Anyway, that's a topic for a different video. I was very focused during my tennis instruction, as I always am, but I will admit every once in a while I did think about the brand new Marshall Silver Jubilee Mini 2525C as in Charlie that was arriving to Guitar Center today for me to pick up. So my mind did drift a little bit off to that topic, but I immediately refocused to where I was, which was out on the tennis courts, working on my footwork and the follow through on my forehand side. My tennis start time was 10:30. My tennis end time was about 14:45. And once I ended, I immediately caught a Waymo, hopped in it, went to Guitar Center to pick up my brand new guitar amplifier. When I got home, I immediately hooked up all the pedals and plugged in the amplifier, but I couldn't fire it up because I had a date with a girl I met out on the tennis courts about a month ago. When she first asked me to hit about a month ago, I declined because I was in a situation. Well, last week or so, I removed myself from that situation. I noticed she was watching me work out with my tennis instructor, and any other time I would have spent some time to talk to her, but as I mentioned, I had to pick up my guitar amp at Guitar Center, so I immediately packed up my tennis gear and hustled out to meet up with my Waymo. As I was hustling, she kind of followed me out and she asked if I wanted to play tennis. And I said, yes. And as I was getting into the Waymo, she asked, hey, do you want to get a bite to eat tonight? And I said, I'm going to be 62 years old this year. And she goes, oh, great. Well, if you take your age and divide by 2, you'll come up with my age. I like even numbers, so how about it? And I said, okay, yes. Oh, and yes, there will be a second date. Because I'm a beginner guitarist, I don't know the terminology nor the scientific background as to the making of a good amp. All I know is, as a layperson, listening to sounds coming from an object, this particular object sounds really good to my ears, and I am glad I made the purchase.